And meanwhile, Joe Biden has visited areas devastated by Hurricane Ida in Louisiana. The tail end of the storm also caused record rainfall and flash flooding in New Jersey and New York. Nearly 50 people have been confirmed dead and hundreds of thousands are still without power.
Stunning destruction inflicted by the record rainfall New Jersey suffered this week. Dozens of people also died as Ida tore through the heavily populated state. Authorities say the search for survivors and the missing is not over yet. Rescue crews continued to search in neighbouring Pennsylvania too. The flood submerged cars and basement apartments there. Many were surprised by the staggering speed with which the waters rose.
I mean, we were expecting something, but nothing this major, so lived here for quite some time and never seen anything like this.
In New York, some areas are still struggling with major power outages. And some subway lines are still out of action after Ida swamped them. The governor has admitted the state was caught off guard this time. She's vowed to be better prepared next time when the next major disaster hits.
No longer will we say, yeah, that won't happen again in our lifetime. This could literally happen next week. And when you talk about the rainfall records that were broken, Central Park, for example, it broke a record that was set the week before. And it almost doubled it. That's how the scale is going forward, and we have to be prepared for that.
Ida was a tropical storm when it hit the northeast. Imagine the damage inflicted in the US South. There, it was a Factor 4 hurricane. Homes and businesses in this corner of Louisiana didn't stand a chance. About 1 million people in the state are without power after the hurricane destroyed electrical grids. Oil production chains serving the city of New Orleans have also been damaged, meaning fuel shortages and long lines at tank stations. President Joe Biden travelled to Louisiana on Friday to see the scale of the destruction there firsthand. He said getting the hardest hit parts of the US back on their feet should be everyone's goal.
This isn't about being a Democrat or a Republican. We're Americans, and we'll get through this together. We just got to remember, we not only have to build back, we have to build back better than it was before. Better than it was before, so when another superstorm comes, it's not the damage done.
Hurricane Ida has again made it heartbreakingly clear just how vulnerable the US is to extreme weather events. Experts warn storms like Ida will become more frequent as climate change intensifies.
Reporter Dave Cohen is in New Orleans and joins us now. Welcome, Dave. Joe Biden has seen some of the damages firsthand now. What do people there need from the federal government right now?
They told him today the first thing they need is electricity to be turned on. And right behind me now, dozens of utility trucks have just arrived here in downtown New Orleans to help in that effort. They also told him they need food, they need water, and they need air conditioning because it's very hot here with temperatures in the 90s, feeling like the triple digits all week. People's tempers are flaring. In fact, you mentioned the long lines at gas stations. Just moments ago, we had a murder at a gas station. 2 people in a conflict over getting gasoline, and someone apparently cutting in line led to gunfire, and now 1 person is dead.
Wow, all right. Utility companies say it may take until mid next week for power to be restored. Why is it taking so long?
Well, that's just in the city of New Orleans. It may be weeks longer in the areas hardest hit by Ida, where it came across the shoreline and did the most destructive damage. Here in New Orleans, the problem is a massive tower, hundreds of feet tall, was knocked down during Ida, and it carried 8 transmission lines into the city, providing all of the electricity for the region. All of those lines are now lying in the Mississippi River, and they're not usable. So crews are having to find power outside of this region and bring it here on new long transmission lines. They closed down the main highway into New Orleans today to string a new line across the interstate so they can get power here.
Dave, since Hurricane Katrina 16 years ago, much of the infrastructure has been improved in the region to withstand these storms. But with climate change, they are becoming more frequent. What more needs to be done long term?
Well, they want, here in New Orleans, the worst of the damage was spared. The levees held this time for Ida, unlike they did against Hurricane Katrina. Many people since Katrina have been saying, due to climate change and sea surface levels rising, we need better protections against hurricanes. This seems to be proof that these new hardened, taller, stronger levees around New Orleans have prevented 80% of the city being flooded this time like there were in Katrina. Now, in areas outside of New Orleans, leaders are begging for similar kinds of protection, fearing that we're going to see more and more of these monster storms moving forward.
Thanks, Dave. Reporter Dave Cohen in New Orleans.